Welcome to another one. Hope all is well. As you come in, please give us a like. That'll be greatly appreciated. Those watching the rebroadcast, please give me a like if you got something out of this. We're gonna hopefully clear up some of these rumors that's going on about Jay-Z, because they're rumors right now, about him being investigated by the Department of Justice. That's a rumor, and we're going to get into why that's going on and why that might be the case. Also, rapper Nas, wins bid for a casino in Queens, but we're going to talk about how he's just like the face of it. And he has probably a modest ownership in the deal. But being that he's from Queens and stuff, they put his face on it, you know, like that. But he doesn't have a major role in that project. He does not. He doesn't have a major role in this project. Just like Jay-Z with the Barclays Center. They made it seem like he was a major owner of the New Jersey Nets, and it's not true. He had a 1% ownership. And it was the Russian oligarch was really making the major moves. That's who was really making the major moves, but they put Jay-Z on the face of it so it won't seem so bad that a lot of people are losing out in that project. A lot of local people that was born and raised in that area lost out. So, and they just put him as the face of it. That's been throughout history. Even during desegregation and stuff like that, they'll use people like Dr. King, people like that for their agenda. And you will find out later on that these people were being used to make it acceptable. But I'm not saying that the casino is bad. I mean, it's not a bad idea, I guess, with Nas or whatever, but he is just a face of it. He has a modest ownership. Now, there's a difference between Jay-Z and Nas, though. There's one difference, and we're going to get into this. Nas is a very, very, very credible investor. His investment company is worth billions. And he started this investment company years ago with a couple of friends of his, and they were the early investors in Lyft and Uber. So he has made a lot of money. Well, his company has made a lot of money in investments throughout the years, and then nobody really talks about it. I mean, when you talk about hip hop wealth, you usually look at the people to his left and right here, Jay-Z and Puff, but that's not true though. He's actually number one. It's not them actually. But personally, his personal wealth is not billions though. So you would never hear about him being one of the early investors in Uber and Lyft because his name is not attached to it, except for his company is. His investment company is. But yeah, Ring Doorbell and a few others, Jay. But you don't really talk about, you only hear about Puff and Jay-Z and this and that, but Nas is actually and one thing about Nas, a lot of people don't know. Well, people should know. Some people do know if you listen to the MC Search interview, but I knew this before the MC Search Glad interview. I had knew this already. When Nas, I had knew this back in the 90s because I had read about it in a hip hop magazine when Nas gave an interview. If you notice, Nas don't give a lot of interviews. That's number one. He don't. But back in the 90s, they were talking about his deal when he made his first album. Like he entered a partnership. He didn't get robbed like these other artists did. He did not. He made less money. He made less money initially, but over time, he is where he is now. And a lot of that is because he knew about the music industry because of his dad, Olu Dara. He's a jazz trumpeter. So that's why he knew a lot about the industry more so than the average person. Another one was that was very well versed in the industry was Rakim. His aunt was Ruth Brown. She's also a jazz artist. And also Nas ex Khalees, her people were in the jazz as well. I believe Nas' dad knew them. So there was a connection between him and Khalees at that, because of that. But I just wanted to say that about Nas. When he came into the industry, he did not get jerked around. He did not. And if you notice, you never heard about him at a puff party. Never heard about it. It's just like he's off to his own. He just do his own thing. He's not the only rapper that's like that. That don't. It's a lot of rappers don't get caught up in this. But he's one of the big, like one of the top echelon hip hoppers of all time. Sorry, I'm having a sneezing attack. Sorry about that. But you never hear about him in any controversy. Never hear about it. He's off to his own, and that's just pretty much what it is. So we're gonna talk about the whole casino thing. I'm gonna talk about Puff, why Jay-Z lost his bid for this casino. So there's a couple reasons why they say he did that. If you follow the minutes from that meeting when the board, because when you try to propose stuff like that, especially in Manhattan, there's a board that you have to go and talk this over with. And he wanted a casino on Broadway. Now I knew like Broadway, because remember, Walmart tried the same thing. They turned Walmart down, So Jay-Z put his bid in and see what happens. But they turned him down. They're not like, no, you're not gonna have that casino over here. It's gonna ruin the integrity of Broadway in the plays and stuff like that. So that was one of the reasons. Now, there's been rumors that he's being investigated by the FBI for money laundering and stuff like that. Um, there's nothing I can find out there to say that's true. That's not to say, excuse me, that's not to say it's not true, but I don't have anything to back that up, and I'll tell you why. Um, yeah, Sharice. First of all, is where he wanted to put the casino at. I knew that was going to be a no-no. I knew that. See, because look, let me just say this before I get into this. Some of us remember Broadway or 42nd. Locals used to call it 40 Deuce or 42nd. We remember this back in the 1980s. If you remember 42nd Street back in the 1980s and 90s, press one. You know it's nothing like it is now. They had peep shows. If you remember the peep shows, press one. They had the peep shows. You remember the track? They had a whole. If you remember, it was a blade out there. People in California call it the blade. They had a whole blade, man. It was a blade out there. Okay, and they worked very hard to clean that up, and the violence and stuff that was around that area. They worked very hard to clean that up, and it took a very long time to clean this up. So they're very, very protective of new projects coming there. They don't mind new projects coming there, but it has to be the right project. They don't mind it. Yeah, peep shows when they was a quarter, and kids used to sneak in. Kids used to sneak in because I was one of them. And guess what? And guess what? If we had money, they let us stay. You had live peep shows, and you had some peep shows when you put your money in, you just saw it on TV. I'm like, man, what is this? I'm thinking it's gonna be something live. Nah, just a video pop up. Okay, so let's get into it. So Nas is involved in a major casino expansion proposal in Queens, New York, as you guys know. I'm gonna tie all this in. I'm gonna flow it into Jay-Z and everything. The project is being done in partnership with Resorts World New York, Genting Group, which currently operates Racino. Let me stop right there. You remember, guys, if anybody did anybody see the news after Jay-Z was denied? This white guy came out and said, I can't believe this, and blah, blah, blah. And they denied us and this and that. He was very upset. Those are the people that was going to benefit the most off this, not Jay. They were just using Jay because they think he's popular. But here's the thing: what they don't know is his image is diminishing with the younger people because Gen Z don't care about him. Y'all know that, right? Gen Z don't care about him. They care about Kanye West. If they should have went and got Kanye West. But actually, no, no, no. Even if they got Kanye West, they weren't going to get the casino. But what I'm saying is, he's not the end all be all. Gen Zers like Kanye. Kanye West is a little bit more prestigious than he is. And after these allegations, unfortunately, it really diminished him even more. So he wasn't going to benefit. He just the face of it. So the project is being done in partnership. Okay, I said Resorts World and Genting Group. I'm talking about Nas right now. The plan is to turn it into a full Las Vegas style integrated casino resort. The proposal carries a very large price tag, 5 to 5.5 billion, and includes components like a huge casino floor, entertainment venue, hotels, workforce housing, parkland, etc. Let me stop right there when they say workforce housing. You know what Manhattan is going to turn into, guys, within the next, probably within our lifetime, within 10 years. You know what's going to be? It's going to be so expensive to live there that you can't live there. The only people that's going to live there are the people that work there, which they'll probably have like work housing and stuff like that. That's what they really want for that island in the surrounding boroughs. And you know what made the surrounding boroughs of Manhattan so attractive? Even though Manhattan itself was very expensive to live, you could find affordable housing in Brooklyn, even Queens. That's what made it, that's what made it attractive for people. We could still just move out in the borough of Brooklyn somewhere or Queens and still find affordable housing or affordable mortgage. It's not like that anymore. I don't care where you go in Brooklyn, you ain't paying no less than $2,000. Nowhere. I don't care where it is because I've been checking. I do not. I mean, they do have the lottery and stuff like that, and a fair housing or whatever, but still. Let me tell you something. I know people. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing. I don't know if they're doing strange things for change. I don't know how people surviving here, man. I don't. Like 4,000. I know somebody paying 4,000 for rent. I know somebody paying 10,000 for rent. And I told the person, I remember this building you live in used to be a factory. Yeah, you said unless you're under a program, right? Thanks, Malik. All right, so just recently, the Queens Community Advisory Committee gave the project a unanimous 6-0 approval moving forward. So, see, remember when I said there is an advisory committee? It don't matter which borough it is. What's up, Ryan? It don't matter. What's up, Steven? What's up, Bo Real Facts? What's up, Malik? Let me see where everybody got here. What's up, Blue Essence? What's up, Jay? What's up, Cyrus? What's up, Sharice? What's up, Sat? Jay Steves, Pink, Pink Ivy, what's going on? Max, what's up? Curtis, Miss Leo. All right. My bad, y'all. What's up? Kai Nicole, what's going on? You remember when I said everywhere, no matter where you are for a project like this, you need an advisory committee? Okay, so the advisory committee that Nas likeness is attached to it, they approved it 6-0. And check this out. They also threw a shot at Jay-Z when they did it. Nas didn't throw a shot at Jay-Z. The advisory committee did. I mean, the borough president did. I'm going to tell you what he said in a second. So they approved it 6-0. It says that's a key regulatory milestone in New York casino licensing process. See, what they're trying to say is, yes, we do want a casino in New York City. We do. We just didn't want it on Broadway. We didn't want it on Broadway. Yeah, we want a casino, but we don't want it here. Yeah, we don't want it on Broadway. Look, did you know this? This Nas and them, they had put this proposal together way before Jay-Z and them did with the Broadway thing. They trying to say that Jay-Z, this was like a competitive situation. So this has been going on. The reason why you didn't hear about it from Nas because his investments and things don't have his name attached to it. His investment company, remember we said he was the early investors in like Ring Doorbell and different things like that. That's through his investment company with him and his friends and stuff. It's worth billions now, his portfolio, that business portfolio. So that gives him a lot of credibility. It's not just because he's a rapper, it's business wise was giving him his credibility. But to make it popular, okay, he's from Queens. Okay, let's just put his face on it. I'm not sure what equity that he has in this. Maybe it's a modest, they said it's a modest amount, but we'll see. So it says this is not the final step. They still need to secure a full license from New York State Gambling Commission, which they will. Why is Nas in the spotlight? It says Nas' involvement is more than just a celebrity endorsement. He is actively trying the project to his roots in Queens, pushing the narrative that it's about community development, opportunity, economic uplift for his home borough. However, how much ownership or equity, like I said before, Nas actually holds in the project is not publicly disclosed. The reason why, again, guys, it's not publicly disclosed yet is not in his name. You probably will know about that a little later as this project is completed. Then you will know what stake he has in it or his company, his investment company. He has started this investment company with him and 4 other friends. It's worth billions. He's worth more than Jay on paper. He's worth more. Some commentary points out that even a 1% stake in a large profitable casino can translate into millions in yearly income. Though that's speculative until the deal is structured or revealed, like I said. So yeah, this project, even though it has his face on it, this is worth more than Jay-Z name attached to the Barclays Center back in the day. It's worth more. This alone to bring Nas at least millions in per year, or at the end of each quarter, or the first of each quarter of the year. And he don't even have to do anything. He don't have to do anything. Now, you might say, why are they using Nas? I'm telling you, he's connected with a lot of people, a lot of geeks when it comes to this investment stuff. He is really. He is. And he stands alone. He doesn't really hang out with nobody. You never see him at these Diddy parties. You never see him. But he's cool. You know, he's cool with everybody. I remember if you go to Diddy's YouTube page, because he used to vlog a lot back in the day. They were at some event, him and Cassie, and you just see Nas just chilling, and and Diddy was chilling with Nas. They were just kicking it or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? They were just kicking it. He's like, "Yo, what's up, King?" You know how Nas is just cool as fuck, and they were just chilling for a brief moment. They were just chilling for a minute, and then after that, he was gone. That's just how it is with him, man. He's outside of the industry. He's not in it. It's just he's in it because of the music, but that's about it. And he's always been that way, even since the 90s. It's always been that way. Um, okay, so check this out. So what makes this extra interesting is that Jay-Z via Rock Nation and Plus Partners had proposed a competing casino project in Times Square, Manhattan. Jay-Z's proposal was rejected earlier this month, as we know. Now watch this, by a relevant advisory board in a 4-2 vote. Remember, it had to be 6. It was a 4-2 vote. After that rejection, Nas Queen's back proposal got favorable support, prompting headlines of a symbolic Nas beat Jay-Z in a casino battle. Queensboro president Donovan Richards even joked, "Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again," referencing the old Nas versus Jay-Z rap rivalry. He said that. The Queensboro president said it, "Sorry, Jay, we win again. Queens get the money." He said that. Okay, the key reasons for the rejection for Jay-Z. Come on, man. Broadway theater community. He had to go through the Broadway theater community, man. You know that wasn't happening. I could tell. I could have told him that wasn't going to happen. The Broadway League, representing theater owners and producers, was strongly against placing a casino in Times Square, arguing it would undermine the cultural identity, atmosphere, and integrity of Broadway. They framed it as a vote to protect the magic of Broadway and push messaging that a casino would drive traffic, crime, or disrupt theater going behavior. Now, my question is for you guys right now: do you think a casino on Broadway will attract crime? Let me tell you something, guys. It could not be no worse than it was in the 1980s. If you remember Broadway in the 1980s, it could not be no worse. But they don't want it to go back to the 1980s. They don't. I know people in here remember Broadway in the 1980s with those peep shows. Okay, you said definitely. Okay. So that's what they're saying. So they don't want the crime, they don't want the traffic. Now, will it create a lot of traffic? Yes. You don't need no more traffic in 42nd Street. I'm just telling y'all this on Broadway. You don't need no more traffic than it already has. You already can't drive through there now. There's so much traffic, even during the day. I mean, at night, after midnight, you're okay, but it's unbearable. So they don't want the traffic. Um, what else here they saying? It says can increase congestion, noise, crime, and disruption of already dense and cultural sensitive area. Many felt a casino will um, be exhaustive and existing exhausted to the existing land use, especially in a hub of tourism, theater, and pedestrian activity. Cultural symbolic resistance. Some opponents, residents, advocacy groups frame the casino as a threat to Manhattan's identity and culture, not just an economic proposal. For instance, placing a massive gambling complex in the core of Times Square was seen by some as a mismatch with a kind of arts entertainment district Broadway aspires to be. Lack of sufficient local buy in, despite incentives. Jay-Z proposal had included sizable community benefits offers, 250 million in quality of life improvements, supportive neighborhood institutions, but those pledges apparently weren't persuasive enough for certain community board members or local legislators, particularly because some viewed them as late add-ons or insufficient to offset perceived downsides. Manhattan bid was competing in a broader field of proposals across the city, Downstate New York, some bids, especially in the boroughs or in upgrading existing racinos, like in Queens or Yonkers, may have had stronger local acceptance or proven track records. We know Yonkers Raceway has always been there since even I was little. Um, yeah, they just didn't want the density and all that stuff. They didn't want it. And it said Jay-Z Times Square bid was not alone. Other Manhattan proposals like the Hudson Yards or near the UN got rejected or was withdrawn. With all major Manhattan bids failing community approval, the idea of Manhattan Casino was effectively foreclosed. So there's a lot of things like, the Hudson Yards project. You remember that sport complex off the West Side Highway over there? I remember when they were proposing a bill on that and got that approved. You remember the rail that they have? They had to have approvals for that. That was good. The New World Trade Center, they had to go through the approval board. That was approved 6-0. All those damn buildings they built up on Broadway. Um, I mean Fifth Avenue. They call it Billionaires Row. All that was approved. I was just there recently, not too recently, but there's still construction going on. So um, it's just whatever. If it falls in their vision, they're okay with it. But I knew that casino when I heard about it. I said okay, and I saw the meeting when Jay-Z was talking. Um, he looked really uncomfortable when he was talking. He was sitting. I don't know if he was sitting so close to the table. Like yeah, yeah. It just it. He already knew they were going to deny him. Just the way he was talking, the way they were looking at him. Did you know if you want to live in certain like apartments in New York, it has to be approved by the board? They're like that, man. They're like that. Um, or if you want to buy like an apartment that has history to it, like it's like historic history. You have to get approved to buy that apartment. Stuff like that. But yeah, man. I known it was gonna get turned down. But also Jay-Z name has been brought up even more here. Um, is there any active litigation going on as far as FBI? FBI criminal investigation tied to the casino bidding or related matters. Many of the rumors appear in gossip or opinion sites without sourcing to law enforcement documents or statements. There is active litigation involving Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and attorney Busby, but that's about it. It's civil though. Some tabloid or gossip alleged Rock Nation is under investigation for financial and properties racketeering and money laundering in relation to the casino project, but these claims are not substantiated by reputable sources or law enforcement statements. So there's nothing there. There's no confirmation or anything that he's being investigated by the Department of Justice as at this time. Why are people saying that? Because that's gonna get a lot of views, man. They gotta be careful with him though, because he'll try to take YouTube pages down. So be careful with that. Be careful, especially he already lost his bid. Be careful. But there will be other projects that he could tie his name to at some point, I'm sure. But That's it. As far as the casino, no, no, it's not happening. Maybe if he did something out in Yonkers, like add something more out there, maybe. I don't know. That probably would get denied too. But Manhattan, I actually lived through many phases of like this tri-state area, man. Many phases. This phase I'm living through now, certain areas where you couldn't even want to drive through or anything like that. It's not the same anymore. They don't move these people out, man. And it was almost the powers that be fault anyway. I mean, you got to take credit too. I mean, if you participate, it's your fault too, right? But these areas where I grew up in, it was violent. And now there's a push for people to move back here. It's not like that anymore. They're actually taking time to like really look into these areas to make sure like their investments don't go irie. It's like it's crazy how like things are changed. Even like downtown Newark, man. It's like it don't look the same to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just don't, which is a good thing. But I'm like, you guys could have fixed this a long time ago, but you didn't want to fix it because there was no desire to live down here. It was white flight back in the late 50s and 60s when you went to the suburbs. But now they want to come back, so now they fixing it. So that's what's happening now. Um, but it cracks me up because I drive at night and I just be riding around like seeing all this stuff. It's like night and day. A lot of stores downtown Newark closed. They're coming up with other stuff and redoing it. Seeing people walking their little poodles downtown Newark at night. It's crazy for me, man, to see that. But I remember the 80s Newark, 80s Manhattan. Um, they did a lot with Jersey City too. For sure they did. They're cleaning up everywhere, like, and they're doing it just like that. They've already had a plan. You know, when they have plans, they do this 10 and 20-year increments. Um, you know, I had told people eventually this gang activity is going to go away. They're going to lock everybody up. And it's happening and you're seeing it now. Like I'm riding around places. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm seeing how like Gen Zers and stuff are hanging out and they even got a skateboard park down the street and it's good to see though, but damn, they could have did that when I was growing up, but they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do it. And yeah, they didn't want to do it. But it's good. I mean, as long as the environment is safe, I'm all for it. The environment is safe. Um I was riding through Harlem. Um Same thing with Harlem, man. They're doing the same thing. They're clearing people out, man. There's still areas, don't get me wrong. There's still areas that are like the same, but for the most part, they're doing the same thing everywhere. But Jay, man, a lot of people want him to be investigated, though. They don't. Now that Diddy case is coming to an end, and that's what I want to talk about next. Diddy case is coming to an end. Um, we're waiting on the judge. I don't know if the judge has made a decision on giving him a new trial, but he's not throwing out the case. That's not happening. And I don't think he's granting him another trial. I don't think so. Did he have to get prepared for the appellate after he gets sentenced? How much he getting sentenced to, I don't know, but I think he's getting sentenced to some time. Yeah, Manhattan don't play. Have you ever driven through Harlem lately? It's crazy. You want to visit? You don't live that far. Where you at, Cyrus? Where do you live at? What state? You said you don't know why people reporting that the judge denied. More than likely, he's gonna deny it, but people they report on it early. It's just for the views. Oh, Seattle. Okay, you're in the West. Well, if you ever drive through Harlem, well, if you're ever on this coast, man, let me know. If you're ever out here on this coast, I'll give you a tour. You know what I'm saying? I don't cost that much, Cyrus. Give you a tour. If anybody want a Manhattan tour, let me know. I'm talking about even from the Jersey side. I could also take you on a tour of the most picturesque spots in New York. There's a spot where I call it the $1 million spots where you could take the $1 million photography of the Brooklyn Bridge. It's like the Brooklyn Bridge is right over your head. And you could just like, yeah, it's really nice. I got all those spots on my map. So, but yeah, just let me know. You and your family come out. Yeah, just set up the tour. And but yeah, they you drive through like, yeah, man, it's crazy. Oh, let me go to Puff. Let me go to Puff. Puff, like I said, as far as the sentencing is concerned, I'm a little I don't know, man. I'm getting mixed feelings on it. Um, I'm thinking he gonna get some time. Because the judge, man, I don't know. I think he gonna get some time. It's not, I mean, it's what it is. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll be there Friday. Yeah, so hopefully, oh, just you. Oh, okay. You say you love living in NYC. Very unique place. You think so also, Ryan, that I just don't know how much time, but I don't know, man. I was listening to Harvey Levin from TMZ. He don't think Diddy is gonna get that much time, but the way he's thinking about it, the way he's talking about it, he's not sure either. He was like, "Man, if what did he say?" He said, "If the judge is looking for a pile of meat, if he's out doing that, like it could hurt his aspirations in the appellate if he want to go that route." Man, the judge ain't thinking about what nobody thinking about, man. He just going off of this case. But I could tell you this though. I could tell you what's going to happen Friday. There's going to be victim impact statements. Okay. Now I don't know if Cassie's going to be there herself or Jane, but they could provide statements for the lawyers to read, right? And then on both sides. And then both sides will argue mitigating or aggravating factors on why he should get the low end or the high end, right? And then the judge will say, "Okay, I'll be back with my decision." But before he give his decision, he's going to give his remarks, his closing remarks on the case. And Ryan, you know how that goes. That could go very bad. When I say very bad, like he could have some strong things to say to Diddy in his closing remarks. And after he give his closing remarks, guess what? May the defendant please rise to get sentenced. United States versus Sean John Combs. Okay, here's the sentence on the counts. And we'll see if he run them concurrent or consecutive. We'll see, guys. He's not getting that. He gonna do some time, I believe. I don't know how much time. I'm thinking it'll be like within the recommended or a little bit under. Whatever that is, I don't know. Yeah, if he gives bad remarks, I'm talking about like, oh yeah, that's one thing, Ryan. Thank you for saying that, guys. All right, so this is what you're going to pay attention to after everything is done. Yeah, sentencing is on Friday, Kai Nicole, next Friday. This is what you're going to pay attention to, right? Once everything is said and done, before the sentence, the judge is going to give his closing remarks. Pay attention to the tone of his closing remarks. If his closing remarks is chastising Diddy, he's done. He's getting ready to sentence him to some time, man. Like for sure. I remember one time this judge was giving closing remarks. He was just getting on this guy. He said, "This is the worst case I have ever seen by far." I was he said, I found what you did repulsive. And yeah, the way he was saying it to him, he was like, "I'm gonna sentence you to 45 years." Or something he said. It was crazy. 45. You said 10 years? Man, 10 years a lot of time, Cyrus. That means 5 years on each count, right? Now, my question to you is, okay, so you're saying 5 years on each count, which adds up to a total of 10 years. Is that consecutive or concurrent? My question to you. That's my question to you right now. If you think 10 years, is it consecutive or concurrent? What do you think, Ryan? Is he going to sentence him to consecutive time or concurrent? How about you, Cotton Nicole? What do you think? Because why would he sentence him to consecutive time? Because if it involved two or more victims, guys, he can sentence him to consecutive. I've already researched it. If it involves two or more victims, two or more separate victims, similar crime, two different victims, he can sentence him to consecutive time because this is two separate victims. See, if he run it concurrent, guys, he only have to serve one and that's it. But it's involving two. So he getting consecutive time, guys. Remember, I said it. He's getting consecutive. Now, is he going to sentence him to a 6 months apiece consecutive, or he going to sentence him to 5 years apiece consecutive? That's 10 years. He won't be eligible for parole until about 6. Because remember, he already got time served. So if he get 10 years, just say 9 years. And when will he be eligible for parole? I would say 7 if he get 10. Yeah, he said if lucky, total of 5 years consecutive. Yeah, yeah, Kai. I looked into it. If it involves two separate victims, okay, 2.5 each count. That's. But the defense is not calling for that though. They're calling for 14 months. Because if he get 14 months, he can get out Friday and do the rest on supervised release. Ankle monitor. Ankle monitor. But yes, it's involving two. Because look, why would he sentence him to concurrent and he only serving one of the sentences? That means the other person is not worthy. No, this judge might give him consecutive, but he hoped that it's a few months apiece consecutive, as opposed to 5 years apiece consecutive. So I'm looking him to say it's consecutive to count whatever for the last one. So if he gets served, I'm not gonna be surprised. So I think they're asking for what, 69 months? 80, no, 80 some months. I can't remember. The prosecutors. It's not good. And this judge he said he's a threat to the community. So it's not good. And I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm just going by, my feeling. But that's what I read. If it's two or more, if it's two separate victims, he could sentence him to consecutive time if he wanted to. Yeah, he could go consecutive on him. And that's bad. Because he got to serve. That means he got to serve each count separately. After he finished serving the first, then you go to the second. So if he get 5 on the second, let's say if he's eligible for parole in 3 years on the first one, then he got to start serving the other one. I think this might be a OJ all over again. Remember when OJ got sentenced on that second thing he did when stealing his own stuff back and the judge threw the book at him? I think this gonna happen here. Remember OJ got some time on that case. How much time did he end up doing? Let me see. OJ, he was sentenced to 30. He was sentenced to it's crazy how they did him. Look, he was sentenced to 33 years in prison with eligibility for parole in 9 years. Um, um, he began serving his sentence in 2008, and he did not get parole until 2017. Man, he served almost 9 years behind bars. Okay, so this ain't the first time somebody got served, man. Because I remember when OJ got served. Yo, I remember when I was watching it live when the judge was doing his remarks. I said, "Uh-oh, OJ about to get served, yo," because the judge gave his remarks, and when the judge said, I hear sentence you to 33 years," OJ was like, "Damn," and his sister passed out. It was either his sister, somebody passed out in court. Yep, he got 33 years, and a lot of people thought that was excessive. But see, yeah, you remember that somebody passed out in court. I think it was his sister. She's, "Oh Lord," and then passed out. And his daughter Arnell was there. Arnell Simpson, his kids. Yeah, go. It's on YouTube when OJ is getting sentenced. Hold up, let me find it. Let me find it. We got to play it, bro. We got to play it. We got to play it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. You guys got to see this because it's all about the remarks of the judge. That's how you know that something is getting ready to go down. Like, especially when the judge start really like getting into your ass, you in trouble. You are in trouble. So if Judge Arun Subramanian really gets into this man, right, he in trouble, yo. And I'm gonna say it while the judge giving his remarks, I'm gonna be sitting up there. I'm like, guys, he about to get it handed to him, y'all. I'm just telling, yo, let's hold hands, yo. Like, guys, I'm like, look, just let's hold hands. Let's hold hands because he about to get served. Let's hold hands. Let's hold hands, man. Yo, let me show you. Because y'all, this is a matter of like historical record here. Look at her, yo. Look.
Actually, I'm surprised that I heard from you, Mr. Simpson. I had believed that there wasn't going to be a statement from you, and I was going to be concerned about your lack of responsibility for this action. And it's kind of a fine line in what you said to me. I hear what you said and what Mr. Galanter said, which is, I didn't intend to do anything wrong, so I must not have done something wrong, so there was no criminal intent. It was just all stupidity. I have to tell you now, it was much more than stupidity. And it's very rare that I have somebody talking to me at a sentencing about mens rea and criminal intent. It really doesn't matter. You went to the room, you took guns, meaning you and the group. You used force. You took property, whether it was yours or somebody else's. And in this state, that amounts to robbery with use of a deadly weapon. Whether it's you having the gun, or Mr. McClinton having the gun, or Mr. Alexander having the gun. When I first started this trial and I talked to the jury when we had the whole panel in, I stated to the group that if they were here because they wanted to punish Mr. Simpson for what had happened previously, then this wasn't the case for them. And I meant that. As the judge in this case, I'm not here to sentence Mr. Simpson for what's happened in his life previously in the criminal justice system. As a judge who presides in courtrooms, in this courtroom every day and over trials, hundreds of trials during the 6 years I've been here, I have great respect for the criminal justice system. I'm part of it. And as a judge who has taken jury verdicts for years, I respect the verdicts of my juries. I have to respect what happened in the case 13 years ago with Mr. Simpson. The jury decided. There are many people who disagree with that verdict, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that the state brought charges, a trial was conducted.
Stop. See, she's already serving him right now. She's already serving him. So you already know he getting ready to get served. Yeah, I know he did 9 years. True, Buffalo, but she sentenced him to more than that. And he didn't know he was going to get out in 9 years. All he heard was 33. Okay. When I was sitting there, I said, guys, he getting ready to get served, yo. Look at his face.
Evidence was heard. Testimony received. The jury deliberated. They reached a verdict. And I have to respect that verdict as well. There's nothing more that's going to happen here other than a sentence for you, Mr. Stewart, and a sentence for you, Mr. Simpson, based on the evidence that occurred in this case. I'm not here to try and cause any retribution or any payback for anything else. I want that to be perfectly clear to everyone. All right, Mr. Simpson, in addition to the $25 administrative assessment and the $150 DNA fee, I'm going to sentence you as follows. Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime, 1 year in the county jail. Count 2, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 2 to run concurrent to count 1. Count 3, conspiracy to commit robbery, a minimum term of 12 months, max term of 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 3 to run concurrent to count 2. Count 4, burglary while in possession of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 26 months, a maximum term of 120 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 4 to run concurrent to count 3. Count 5, the first degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon, a fixed term of 15 years, parole eligibility beginning after 5 years with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll run concurrent to count 4. Count 6, first degree kidnapping with use of a deadly weapon, a fixed term of 15 years with parole eligibility beginning after 5 years with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll run concurrent to count 5.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? He got sentenced to 2 15 years and they were consecutive to each other. That's 30.
Robbery with use of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 60 months, a maximum term of 180 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections with a consecutive 12 to 72. And again, the enhancement because of the increased harm that the gun posed. Count 7 will run concurrent to count 6. Count 8, robbery with use of a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 60 months, a max term of 180 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections with a consecutive 12 to 72. That'll be concurrent to count 7. The assault with a deadly weapon, a minimum term of 18 months, a max term of 72 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. That'll run consecutive to count 8. Count 10, minimum term of 18 months, a max term of 72 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. Count 10 will run consecutive to count 9. Credit for time served is 64 days. That concludes today's sentencing. We are adjourned.
That's a mess history right there when he got sentenced. I'll never forget that. But he got out in 9 years, though. It seemed like it was bad, but he had good behavior throughout. And he had to, go to the parole board and stuff like that. But those 2 15-year sentences were consecutive to each other. So he was, after he served those minor ones, he was starting to get into that 15-year one. And then after 5 years on that, he'd been in there a total of 9 years. The parole board said he can go. So he did a total of 9 years. He got out in 2017. Yeah, he got out in 2017. But what's interesting about his case is the NFL invited him back to the Hall of Fame. And I'm telling people that the reason why they did that because they know he wasn't responsible for the first crime that he got acquitted of. He wasn't responsible for it. And they know. Because they invited him back. His bust is in the Hall of Fame back in there. His Heisman Trophy is back at USC and everything. So what is that telling you? They know something. And in fact, there's a known serial killer. He confessed to the crime because he was doing work for Nicole at the time. He's no longer living, but yeah, man, OJ, I remember that one. Golly, boy, I was like, damn, he getting served, man. and his sister ended up passing out in court afterwards. Yeah, Glenn. She passed out right after he sat down. She passed out. Man, just straight passed out. That was crazy. Now with Puff's situation, we coming back to Puff's situation. I'm telling you guys right now, if that judge start talking like that, I'm like, guys, brace yourself now. Guys, you hear me? Brace yourself. Brace yourself because it's getting ready to go down. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. It's going down. And there's somebody else I'm suspecting. I don't want to say it now. We already talked about him earlier. He need to watch his back. I think they got eyes on him. But we'll see. We'll see. History will, we'll see what comes to pass of that. I have I don't know. Because they still got that crazy ass music out. Um I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm gonna get into David later. I probably will talk about him in a minute. This man, David, man, I don't even know what to say. I've been like watching the updates and stuff. Oh man, I just saw a picture. He wearing a blouse. Oh my god, I never even heard of this kid until this whole thing came out. David. No, I didn't hear about Asada Shakur. Damn, hold on. What's going on with Asada Shakur? Let me see. Oh, she died. You know what? Oh man, you know what? I was sitting here one day, right? This was like 2 weeks ago. I started thinking about her. I was like thinking about her funeral. Her funeral came up to me. I'm just thinking about, I'm like, Asada Shakur, and I was thinking about where they're gonna have her funeral at. It's like it came into my mind. It was like she was leaving then. Sophia Fellner da Costa, you said Jay-Z is going down. So you heard what I said. He gotta watch his back because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show y'all why he gotta watch his back. I'm gonna show you. I have it up on my Twitter. You know the guy that claims that's his son? He the one shared this information that he's being investigated. Oh yeah, it's so much going on right now. The James Comey situation. It's so much going on. Yeah, Raymir shared it. He shared this information. Yeah, they won't respect her grave. They'll do it in Cuba. But hopefully they'll have some updated pictures of her because I haven't seen an updated picture of her in a while. But you know her daughter was living there as well. But you know, I was just thinking about her, Chantel. I was just thinking about, I was like, man, like I just started thinking funeral. Because she's a very, and then I was starting to think she would be free. Yeah, they might bring out. It's up to maybe her daughter might release them. Let me show you guys something real quick. Let me show y'all something. You really can't see it, but bear with me. All right. Um, this is Ray Mears' Twitter. Matter of fact, let me follow him. Ray Mears here. He shared that. He also shared the Diddy docket stuff. Share something about Jay. Yeah, right here. He shared it right here. Jay-Z money laundering investigation in the casino. Ray Mears retweeted it in the Diddy docket. Okay. The Diddy docket is there. Ray Mears retweeted this, as you can see, but you really can't see it, but I'm just showing you. Something's going on. There's something significant going on. We're just gonna have to wait for it. Okay, we're gonna have to wait for it, but something's going down with him. Um, hope he's ready. Let's let you hear a little bit of it, and I'll give you the link to where I got it. This is coming from Miss Lowdown.
To arrest Justin Smith and Edward Robles, I guess that's how you say his name, for $8.26 billion embezzlement. Y'all, remember when they were saying that soon as Jay-Z got on the team with the Cash App and all of that stuff, and that Jay-Z went from a couple of millions to making like up into a billions overnight, and they were like, where's all this money coming from? Blah, 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 blah. And I was telling y'all about money laundering and all of that stuff. Well, here we go, y'all. Here we go. They're saying that this is an $8.26 billion embezzlement, SSN theft, y'all, wire fraud, and take you out for hire plot involving who? Rock Nation, okay? Live Nation and Reed Smith. And they about to make some arrests, y'all. They are about to make some arrests. It's a reason why they want to be on the run out the country. Okay, y'all? I keep telling y'all it's about to, about to hit the fan. Okay, y'all? It's about to hit the fan. And this is some of the paperwork, y'all. Some of the paperwork. William Garcia, plaintiff. Okay? And this is September 21st, 2025. Cash Patel, Director, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI headquarters, all of these people's involved, okay, y'all? They not finna play. They are not about to play with a Jay-Z them, y'all. They admitted Social Security number theft by the Joint Defense Group, including Rock Nation, Live Nation, and Microsoft, y'all. It's about to go down, and this is in Diddy's dockets, y'all. This is in Diddy's docket. Did I tell y'all Diddy gonna be singing like Whitney Houston in a minute? Did I not tell y'all this? Demand for arrest and asset seizure. Okay, y'all? They're trying to take their assets. Justin Smith and Edward Poe. Who y'all think next? Who y'all think? All of them tied to the same people. Same people. Large scale embezzlement, y'all, of regulation, protected funds traceable to these admissions. A conspiracy between Justin Smith and Edward Robles to target me and my family in a take you out for hire scheme, supported by DOJ, DHS investigative evidence, including text messages. Y'all, the Shitka is about to hit the fan. Number one, they are demanding an arrest. I demand the immediate arrest of Justin Smith and Edward Robles for violation of aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, use of interstate facilities in take you out for hire. I told y'all, same charges that Lil Durk is facing right now. Retaliation against a witness or a victim. When I tell y'all shit could hit the fan, it's hitting the fan. Okay, y'all? It is hitting the fan. They're admitted SSN theft and embezzlement paired with threats to my government family. The VA since 1998 warrant swift federal intervention. Asset seizure. Further demand immediate seizure of all assets traceable to the JDG's embezzlement and fraud under civil forfeiture of fraud proceeds and criminal forfeiture. Okay, y'all? They not playing. This includes proceeds funneled through Rock Nation, Live Nation, and their counsel at Reed Smith and LLP, who inserted themselves into my 2020 $6.6 billion early warning services deal, now valued at $8.26 billion adjusted for inflation. Investigative authority. Okay, y'all? Complaints. Now docket with DOJ, DHS, explicitly placed investigative authority in your agency's hand as of this date. No.
Oh, I see what's going on. Somebody must have filed something and recommending that these people get arrested. So there's like one person can't just recommend arrest. They have to do an investigation on it just to see. But that's what's going on. Yeah, we just go keep you in the bushes. We don't need you talking. So we just keep you in the bushes. I don't know why that triggered you. Why did the JC thing trigger you? Well, you can't answer me, but I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why that triggered you there, Dextra, but you in the bushes. But I'll never know. I will never get your answer. Wait a minute. I'm hearing from you in spirit. Hold up. It's telepathy. Hold on. Hold on. I can't repeat it. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, keep talking. Yeah, I can hear with telepathy. Let me stop messing with people. You see how he just came out of nowhere? Just mad. Oh my God. He said jobless ninjas. Well, hey man, it ain't me. There's some person may have filed a complaint. So there obviously there could be investigations going on. Yeah, I'm hearing in spirit, Kai. Oh, Kai, I heard what you were saying earlier. Yeah, Asada, this happened back in the 70s. 70s or something like that. She fled to Cuba. And the rest was history. And she's been in Cuba since then. And Cuba, shout out to the Cuban government. It was like, Castro was around at the time. He said, we're not letting her go. We're not handing her over. That's not happening. So she lived in exile in Cuba for all those years. But let me tell you what happened, though. There was a guy, you know how people have travel channels? Hey, I'm just going around, traveling the globe and, seeing different things, right? It's this guy with dreadlocks. And when he was in Cuba, he come off as being friendly and likable, but for me, he's an agent. For me, he's an agent. But he said, hey guys, do you know where Assad is? Assad Shakur? You should have saw how they looked at him. The smiles went away. I gotta fly in here. Hold on. I gotta get his ass. Hold on. Damn, he moved. He was like, "Do you know? Hey, you guys know where Ashad is? Do you ever heard of her?" Their smiles went off their face, and they just walked away from him. Because what he don't know is if they get caught on camera talking about her, they could get locked up for 20 years or something like that. Oh, Chantel has you watching The Legend of Shah. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That is a really, that'll educate you on the whole situation for sure. Yep, that will be. Yeah, Legend of Shah Shakur. That's a really good one, actually. I want to see some updated pictures of her though, because they're very careful on updating pictures of her because they don't want to give away the location on that island. The last time, it was maybe about 8 years ago, was the last time she gave an update on her photo. But she's been living low key all those years. Oh yeah, I do need one of those, Ryan. But man, he's very active too. I'm like, I got to get this one. But it's a very, very good story. I mean, interesting story, say the least. Yeah, they kept her well hidden. Everyone stayed on code there, Chantel. And when that guy went there, he's a brother too. On top of when he was asking, they looked at him like he was crazy. Like, don't come to us with that. You know why he was there? You know what I said? I did this in his comment section. I said he's there for intel. They're using him. That's why he's there. Yep. They're using him for intel. And I know somebody else that went to Cuba many times. He's been there. And he's never said anything. He didn't go there asking about her because he already know the deal. But he said wherever they have her, it's in a very, very well kept area. But she could blend in with the locals. So she could walk the streets and stuff like that. And unless you all in her face, you wouldn't know. She would be able to blend in. And even if you tried something, the locals would get at you. So it's nothing you could do to try to get her because they know they had a bounty on her. And, ever since then, the embargo stayed on that country. That country has an extinction number now. There's so many people from 18 through working ages, they're leaving that country and going other places to find work. There's more like elderly people there than young people like working to support them. And they also having a problem with their water and sewage system. Did you know the average salary that you get paid per month to be a doctor, you still can't afford a hamburger meal? So that's why they're leaving. That's why they're leaving the country. They're not just coming to the United States. They're going to France. They're going, hold up, I'm going to get his ass. Damn, he keep moving. Um, they they're going to Brazil, they're going to France, they're going all over the place. They're not just coming here, and they're going other places to find work and chill because the island is just not cutting it, you know. And they have rations. They cut back on their food rations too. They only get a half of their rations for bread. It was cut in half. So they say they're gonna say eventually that island at some point is not gonna have any people on it. It's just gonna be a dead island eventually. A relic of the past. I say no. I say that if it gets to that point, then the United States will step in and start developing. Oh my God, my bad. I laid on my keyboard. But that's what is gonna happen. You still got Gitmo out there, Guantanamo Bay, the military base, US military base. Yeah, she may have passed. She may have passed. She may have passed yesterday. Yeah, she passed yesterday. Max, did you hear the UK just came out with mandatory digital IDs to track people to know who's an illegal? Well, they having a problem over there in Europe with illegal immigration. You think we have a problem? They really have a problem. Italy is dealing with it as well. They're having a situation over there because you know the continent of Africa is right by Italy. Y'all know that? You could just take a little itty bitty boat and get to the continent. The continent of Africa is freaking huge. It's huge. So they're having a little problem as well. England is having a problem. So this is the US problem. They it's like it's a problem that's probably not going to be fixed, and it's their fault. Or maybe it'll be fixed. I'm not sure. We'll see what they do. But yeah, everybody's having an immigration problem. You say you saw the Paris video where Africans are taking over the population. Yeah, they trying to say it's like they're not be it's like they're you know how they like they're the majority, it's like dwindling. It's like they're migrating. It's like people are moving around in the world. It's like I forget it was an interactive map that I had found where you could see you could see where people are migrating to in real time. It's kind of interesting. I got to find that map again. And let me tell you this though. Did you know this? I was talking to somebody. I forgot to tell you guys this. I was talking to a guy up at the airport where some of his family came here illegally, right? But they only came here for a short period of time. I was like, "Oh, really?" He said, "Yeah, we were trying to get to France. They were trying to get to France. They didn't want to be here." I said, "So they came over the border? Like, how did they get here?" He was like, "Well, it's a very intricate process." He said, "That's all I can really tell you." He said, "You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain." You know, he said, "English is not my first language, and it's hard for me to explain." And that's why I can't wait to get them new Apple iPad things out. What do you call it? The headsets out yet? Because you can I think it translate if the people talking in their native language, it'll translate it for you, right? In real time. I got to get those because I would have let him talk in his language. I was like, no, explain it. Do it in Arabic. Go ahead. And I'll be sitting there shaking my head like I'm understanding them, right? That'll be cool. Is that what the new ones do now? I can't remember. Yo, I'm trying to get all tech. I want them glasses too when they come out. Them new Meta glasses. I need those. I need those. You know what I'm saying? So I could catch everything in my perspective. You know, I got some ideas with those. Okay, so you said the route through Canada, through Alaska, Russia route. Okay, yeah. So he did talk about that. Truth. There's a route they take. It is not just through uh Mexico. That's one route that they could take, but that's not the end all be all route. They got another route. It's through Canada. Now, Canada will allow some people to come there, but they don't want it. They don't want to stay in Canada because Canada, it used to be a spot where they would like to be at, but they're not trying to like be in Canada too much. They'll be in Canada as long as it takes, and they'll come to the United States. Then from there, they'll chill here for a minute, and then going somewhere else around the world. I heard. So that's what's going on. And he said that some people, if they got family here, if they know people, then they will stay here. But if they ain't got nobody, whatever, like other countries or is more what they want to do. But and then he said it depends on your skill level. He said obviously if you're a carpenter, obviously the US really wants you here. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of building projects going on, especially in the tri-state, that they could get up on and stuff like that, or anywhere around the country. Sometimes they'll stay here, but there's other stuff they could do. Now, Dubai, I think a lot of them don't even want to go there. There's a lot of forced labor going on in Dubai. So that's one of the spots they don't want to go to. Yeah, it was just the way he was saying it. Then he was saying that a lot of people saying that this is like America's become hard and they don't want to stay here. You know, so it's interesting, man, the whole immigration situation. But yeah, everybody don't want to stay here. They will if they have to, but if there's something better, they'll go there. Yeah, I've heard of it, kid clientele. Yep. Some of that stuff I don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've heard of it. That's not a secret though, I don't think. You know, I don't think so. I've seen a lot of videos on it. Now, I'm also following this there's a lot going on. I might have to get into Asada Shakur right now since she passed. Might have to come back on another live, man. Damn, I found out here that she passed. You said, hope you feel I am feeling better. It's weird though, man. Yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm starting to get the feeling back in my feet. Well, I got the feeling back in my feet, but yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm walking without no assistance. And you know the crazy part about it is I'm sitting up there. I'm not the only one that was having this issue. I'm like, is it something? I mean, obviously for me, I had an allergic reaction. It was something I ate. And even if the doctor told me, even if I get the grease, okay, so let me tell you what happened. So I'm allergic to shellfish. So even if I get all right, so I went to a restaurant, got some food. They cooked in the same pot or the same fryer or whatever the case is. Even though I don't know what it is, but if they have to cook in a separate, you have to ask them: Are you cooking in a separate fryer or well, are you mixing it all together? Because I'm even the grease will get me sick, and that's what happened. Um, the grease will get me sick, not just eating shellfish. That's how allergic I am right now. Let me see if I can. That's how allergic I am right now. I'm very allergic to it. And it's not good because this time this is the worst allergic reaction I've ever had. So yeah, that's what it was. And the doctor told me, he said, shellfish reactions we get every night. He said, yeah. He said we get it every night on a daily. So yeah, every night. He said on a daily, every single night we get that. He said we always get one person in. Their joints are swollen. And we like, have you had shellfish? He's like, yeah. All right, here we go. Only thing they do is give you a shot. That's the only thing they could do. They give you a shot. And that's pretty much it. And then you got to recover on your own. But this time, I decided to recover the natural way. And that take longer for your body to recover. Because people were calling me. They said, bro, you still on your back? I said, I'm still on my back, yo. I don't want to take that shot because it's bad on your kidneys. The medicine is bad on your kidneys. So I could take medicine too, it's bad on your kidneys. And I don't want to take it. I like this time, I think I'm going to see if I could tough it out. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I didn't think I was going to tough it out last night. Because it gets absolute worse before it gets better. Yep. I haven't done anything since the 17th. What's today? The 26th. I haven't done nothing since the 17th. Nothing. Yeah, stay hydrated. Yeah. And there's a remedy you could take. It's like, well, yeah, stay hydrated, elevated, stuff like that. And get a good show. Or you know what I did? I used this time to educate myself on AI. I read a lot. Look, you know how like when you're active, you can't watch a whole 20-minute video all the way through? I did. I watched a whole tutorial on how to do these avatars, to do the podcast, because I'm going to do a 3D avatar myself. I learned how to do it because I had time to sit here. Yep. I had time to sit here, man. And I just used it. Yeah, I took an allergy test years ago. That's how I know, truth. Yep. Yep. So I sat here and I started just learning stuff, man. That's what I did. Them needles, truth, I didn't want to get it because they stuck the last time because I had allergic reaction. I think this is why this time it was bad because I had an allergic reaction 3 weeks prior to this. I had allergic reaction because that same thing happened. They cooked in the same frying pan. And I got sick. And then I recovered. I recovered because I went to the doctor. That time I went to the doctor. I said, man, I got stuff to do. I can't just be sitting here. So what he did was he gave me 3 shots in my back. He gave me 3 shots in my back. Right? I was like, bruh, 3 shots in your back, man. You said casino makes no less than 10 million a month. Yeah, gangster is crazy, right? So I got 3 shots in my back. So all right, because what happened was I had the allergic reaction, and then it messed up my sciatic nerve because the way I was walking. So I put too much pressure on my back. Like I was walking weird. So then it messed up my sciatica. So not only that, I had to get shots for that. That was crazy. So then I recovered, right? Because you get the shots and the medicine, you recover just like that. Oh, I went and had some more food. Boom, it happened again. I think my system like shocked my system this time. So that's what happened. So I had a lot of time to sit here and study and do tutorials. That's what I was doing. Cause yeah, that's what I did. Because the last game, I never forget, the last game was Colorado. They played last weekend. It was a night game. I couldn't even go live, Ryan, after the game. That's how bad I was. I was like, bruh. I'm just laying here. I'm like, I can't do nothing. And then last night, I felt terrible because the pain was just unbearable. But now I'm good. It's just like, that's how it is. It's like you get this sharp striking pain, then boom, it's gone. It's dangerous. You know, here's the thing. It doesn't affect my breathing. I know some people with shell allergies, it affects their breathing. They have to keep an EpiPen. Me, I don't need that. So thank God I don't need an EpiPen. So that's the only difference. Yeah, that's the only difference, son. Because somebody said to me, "Don't you need an EpiPen?" No, I don't. I don't get that type of allergic reaction. And the crazy thing about it is, my mother get the same allergic reaction. She just didn't know it. She said one day she was like complaining her leg was messed up. I said, "Yo, you just had that fish, ma. You allergic to it." She went to the doctor. Sure enough, she can't eat it anymore. Ever since that last them couple oil spills, that's what did it. A lot of people became allergic to it. It really contaminated the sea. Isn't that crazy? It's gonna take another, I don't know how many years to clean up. It's craziness. You said it sounds like no, the nerve that you talking about, no. The nerve that's my sciatica. No, the allergic reaction comes where it attacks the joints in my it attacks my joints. And my knees, everything was swelling up. It was instant too. But look, it don't happen right away, but you know it's coming because you got this like feeling. You know it's coming. Craziness. Look, I hurry up and went to the store. I was like, let me get some stuff because I know I'm about to be sick. It's crazy. But I think the next time I'm just gonna just take the medicine, man. I'm not going through this no more if it happens again. You said get a ball and lie on your stomach. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. You said shrimp and tilapia. Will you stay away from it? I can't eat it at all. I'm gonna try that, Ryan. Get that. You mean the big ball, Ryan, or the big one that you can sit on? Doctor was telling me something like that, but he said I don't need surgery though. He said I need to chill. Oh, the big. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Think I'm gonna do that. But yeah, man, I really just I was playing a lot of chess. Playing a lot of chess and just doing tutorials. So I'm gonna come up with a character. Oh, it's made for your back. I'm gonna have to get one. I lost money. I had a client calling me saying she needed to be picked up from Penn Station. I felt bad about that one because she was at Penn Station. I know she was kind of nervous to be down there. That's why she calls me, because I'm like her personal driver. And I couldn't come to get her. I couldn't walk. She was like, "Oh man, do you need something?" She was gonna come to me. Ain't that nice of her? She was like, "What do you need, man?" She was like, "You stuck?" I'm like, "Yo, I'm stuck." But I got Uber Eats and Instacart. She was nice. She travel a lot, yo, for her business. So I think, man, I might have to come back. I man at Masada Shakur, huh? Yeah, the exercise ball. I know you talking about, Ryan. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get one of those. I'm gonna have to get one. Who's full of crap, gangster? He just came out. He said she full of crap. Who full of crap, man? Oh, you talking about the? I know you talking about the lady that's talking. Oh man, he's behind. Gangster's behind. He's still listening to what that lady was saying. What story, Southern Breeze? Hold on, let me go back. Let me see what you. Oh, you said there's a recall on shrimp. Yo, look, I don't even. I think I'm gonna get sick just saying it. Yo, let me tell you, I was at a get together one time. It's in Virginia. Everybody was sitting around the table. Everybody's like, oh, they was like excited to get the shrimp. They had all type of shrimp, fried shrimp, breaded shrimp, all type of shrimp, man. And guess what? Everybody was eating the shrimp. I'm just sitting there chilling. You know how awkward that is? Like everybody like feasted on their plate, and I'm just sitting there. And my homegirl, she said, "Oh, he can't eat seafood." Well, he just waiting for the other stuff because everybody like, "How come you don't eat shrimp, man? You don't eat no shrimp?" Nope. Uh-uh. I said I got to work the next day, and I don't have no medicine on me. Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something on that. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to do something on that, Southern. That kind of like threw me for a loop. And Chantel was like, "Have you heard about Asada Shakur?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And then I went and looked. That kind of like I'm like a loss for words on that one. All right, well, I think I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to come back, and anybody want to come on the panel and give your thoughts, we'll do that. All right. Well, let me see. 500. You said the original big screen. You said messed up your back, your sciatica locks up. You say you say you be walking like the handyman. Yo, you ever see the handymans when they walk? They got that like gimp. Now I know why they walk like that. They got sciatic problems from lifting and all that stuff. It comes and goes. If you notice, some week they're not walking like that. They walking regular. And then some weeks they got that walk. Now here I am. He still got that tool belt on. You know, the old school handyman got that tool belt. Yeah, I remember them like 500-pound TVs. My mother still got hers, man. She's like, yeah, I need to throw this out. I'm like, shit. I was like, you need to throw it out? Yeah, I need to throw this out. Whenever you ready. I'm like, it's like a movie projector, yo. I'm like, what the man? That will have me in the hospital. Like if I tried to move that, like I'd be in the hospital, man. No, it don't work anymore. I'm like, you could have thrown this out a long time ago. Like she got two of them. You know how people back in the day, they wanted their big TVs. That was their thing back then. You know, to have a huge TV, you know. This person dog been barking. But the dog been barking so long, his bark don't got hoarse. It's like I don't know, is something wrong with the dog? Like he went from a full bark 2 days ago. Like I'm talking about barking nonstop, you know, like a nice big boy bark. Now his bark is his hoarse. They need to check on this dog, man. It's like it hurts him to bark. Yeah, man, that TV, I'm gonna have to pay somebody to come like move it. That's crazy. Glad she don't have that old school floor TV no more. That you can't move. You have to bring something. You said they bark. That means they're not used to being outside. It's a house around here, and he's in the back of the house around here, and he can't bark no more. It's like it hurts him to bark, and you never see him. Nobody ever see him. He's always in the back of the house. It was like he's like, like he's like that now. Man, they need to check on their dog, man. I don't see no cars at that house. The place was dark. They might have left him there, man. That's animal cruelty. They might have left him there by himself. Like they probably had food around for him, right? And just left him in there, yo. He probably got a long leash or something. But it's been raining and all that. But it's like a garage there where you could tell he might be going in there. I don't know what. No, I think he was barking so heavy that he lost his bark. I think that's what it was. He lost his bark. That could happen. Man, hopefully he's all right. But I don't see no like at night. There's no lights on in that house, and it's been like that for the past 2 nights. No lights on, no cars, but you hear that dog in the back. But you can't see him though, because they got him to where you can't see him. I think his leash is long enough for him to like do his business, and maybe go back in that like garage. I hope it ain't no other animal back there that he got in a beef with. He might be hurt. If they left him by himself like that, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, he calling for help. You say he got that kennel cough. I don't know what it is, but it's like that he sound hoarse, man. He probably is calling for help. Ryan, get me the hell out of here. But you can't, nobody wants to go back there because now you trespassing. You said any updates on our third eye friends? Oh my God, yo. See, I got to do something on that too, Southern. Now something hit it. Now they said something hit the damn thing. Oh my God, yo. Like, I don't know what this thing is, man. Every day is something new with this damn 3-eye atlas, man. They say they claim something hit it, man. But the mark your calendars for October 3rd. That's when the Mars rover is supposed to take pictures of it. Hey, Andrea. You said, dang, I hope they're okay. You talking about the 3-eye thing? Yeah, something hit it. I just don't know what it was. You said call animal control. Somebody out there was, heard somebody talking about it, like we need to call to see. Because everybody hear how the dog is. But he don't bark now. He stopped barking. Every now and then he was like, like that, and that's it. And then 2 hours later, he'll do it again. He lost his bark. He can't bark at all, yo. I think he might have been barking so much he lost his bark. You said it sounded like a war going on up there. Well, they said that this planet has the aliens have like orbs around this planet to where it could block asteroids. That's what they're saying. They need to start telling us this stuff. Yo, why don't they just be real with us, man? At this point, we don't care. People, okay, aliens is this? All right, cool, man. Like at this point, I think nobody would be scared anyway. Like, okay, they exist. All right, cool, they exist, man. Yeah, obviously they're not doing nothing to us. So I'm more afraid of humans than aliens at this point. So yeah, man, I don't know. Now, somebody I do know, do you know what they said? They seem to think that this thing is Nibiru. And if you know the story of Nibiru, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's what do you call it? Its rotation is every 4,000 years that it comes back to us. It's in a circle. And the last time it was here, we had the Great Flood. You know what I'm saying? That was the last time. But now they said it's supposed to be back again. This time it's like near the sun. So actually it's like it makes sense. If that's really what it is, it makes sense that it's over there. But the last time it was closer to Earth, and they said it had a great flood over here. But they're trying to say it's like Nibiru is making its full circle again around the sun. Well, it has its own sun. Every 3,600, okay, what is it, every 36? That's what they're trying to say. Okay, every 3,600 years. So that's what they're trying to say this is. This thing is huge, man. And if that's what it is, we're gonna see it. Even if it's by the sun, we're gonna see it. There's gonna be some signs of it. But I'm gonna tell you something. If that's really what it is, we getting ready to have a natural disaster. I just don't know what though. Last time it was a great flood. So some people seem to think we're gonna have a lot of earthquakes. I believe so, Southern. I have to Google it. I believe it is bigger. But there's a rotation. They say it's mythological. The reason why they say it's mythological, because in human experience, we have never experienced it. The last time was a flood. We weren't here. But now we're here. I mean, it's back now. So maybe maybe it's the perfect time now. Maybe this is it. We just never experienced it. It don't mean that it ain't true, but we've never experienced it in our lifetime. Now here it is. It might be it. But it's gonna be reaching perihelion of the sun within, I forget how many astronomical units. I can't remember. But it's way away from the earth, though. Just put it that way. It's not hitting earth. But it's going to have some impact on Earth. It is. Whether it's an asteroid or whatever it is, that coma is so big that it has to have some impact on Earth. Something. It has to. Yeah, it's gaining. Well, you mean the coma is gaining size, correct? Because right now it's half the diameter of the sun. That's huge. What the hell is this thing? No, we're not going to get hit. It's not going to hit us. It's like you got to go. Well, you got to Google real quick what 2 or 3 astronomical units mean. It's millions upon billions of miles, but it's not going to hit us. But it got to have some impact on us. It has to. But we're experiencing it. This is our lifetime. We're actually experiencing something like this. Whether it's a what do you call it? A comet or not. This is not it's a very unusual comet. You know what I'm saying? And we're experiencing it. We're going to experience it. Now, when it reaches perihelion of the sun, we're not going to see it. It's going to be like, to our perspective of the sun, it's in back of the sun. So we're not going to be able to see it. But we're going to have some type of impact, because you remember the sun just sent flares at us. I'm talking about huge flares. And you see them holes in the sun right now? Them huge holes in the sun? It's a lot going on right now, and a lot of earthquakes going on around the world. Did you see what happened in Thailand with that huge sinkhole? It's crazy. It happened in Bangkok, Thailand, a huge sinkhole. Okay, half the diameter of the sun is about 400,000 miles. Yeah, that is huge. And did you hear about the star that just blew up? They had a star blew up and everything. It's just crazy, man. That's why I say we just chilling. We just chilling. Because the universe is universing, man. That's what I told somebody. They started laughing. They said, "Bro, you just sick, man. You just sitting there. You don't know what you." I said, "Bro, the universe is just universing. It's universing right now, man. The universe is universing. You just gotta." Yeah, maybe it is because I've been in pain, but you got to keep your sense of humor. I got to put a little something in my walk, with my cane. When I'm walking by, you got to put a little something in your walk. They're like, how people look at, they're like, "Yo, bro, what's wrong with you?" When you walking, man, people like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" I hate when people do that. Bro, I'm sick. You sick? What you got? That's somebody said to me, "What you got?" What I got? I said, I got that. I said, I got that grip. I got the grip. They said, what is that? I said, the grip, yo. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about it, but I got the grip. He said, oh, I understand, yo. All right, that's what's up. He don't know what I got. I don't know what he think I got, yo. I don't know what he think I got. I said, I got that grip. So I'm gonna have to come back. So what do y'all want to talk about? Y'all want to do Asada first, or well, no, 3 Eye Atlas is late at night. That's our late at night conversation. We gotta keep that for late at night. Yeah, we can't save that during the day. That's too early during the day. We need some late at night activity. You said if there's plasma fragment, it should disintegrate, but the electric field might be set off. I'm not sure. If you say you got that skin, see, no, they will leave me. Actually, Ryan, they would get away from me. They'll get away from me. You see, yo, you know what I'm about to get though? Southern a micro, not a micro, a telescope. I'm about to get a telescope out this right here because I'm kind of like where I'm sitting where I could be looking at the sky, man. I'm about to get a telescope. I'm about to look up in this sky and see what's happening. You know what somebody told me? I gotta get linked up with him. He said, bro, if you ever get a telescope and look up at the sky, you're gonna see some strange shit. I said, really? He said, yeah, they don't talk about it. You're gonna see something. So now I gotta do research on which one I should get. You know, I'm gonna get it off Amazon. And they got this one where you can hook your phone up to it so y'all can see what I'm seeing. You can hook your phone up to it, and when I'm pointing at the moon, you guys will be able to see it. Like that. So I might have to do that. But the thing is, though, I'm like, you know, we're not going to be able to, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to, I don't even know if they're going to be honest with us, man, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. But this thing is huge, though. That's all I know. I'm going to come back later to talk. That got to be late night talk. But right now, I have to do the Asada Shakur. I have to come back with that one. And maybe, what's his name? Comey. You need to get a good one. Don't get a prime sale. You say I need to get a good one. How much does a good one cost, Ryan? Yeah, I'm looking at the prime sale. Like, I don't want to get that one because that look like I'm not going to be able to see nothing. And I'm going to be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be disappointed, man. I might as well point my cell phone up to the moon. You know what I'm saying? I want something where I can really see the craters in the moon. I want something like that. Damn, probably over $1,000. I could go to the pawn shop, can I? I might try the pawn shop. Yo, you can find some good stuff out the pawn shop. I'm gonna have to check. Yeah, I don't want to get one on prime sale ones because then I'm gonna be disappointed. And I'm gonna try to resell it. You know, one of them ColecoVision joints. Fisher Price joints. I had one of those back. I couldn't see nothing in that thing, yo. And you know what we wound up doing? Because look, I got one for Christmas one time, right? My cousin and my aunt used to have foster kids. They was like, yo, and they was around my age. You know, we were mischievous. So they was like, yo, you got a telescope? I was like, yeah. I said, yo, we gonna look at the moon tonight. Yo, we went to go look at the moon, right? Like my aunt said, y'all go out there and look at the moon, right? So I was like, yeah. She said, it's a good time for y'all to go out there and look at the moon or whatever. So we went out there to look at the moon. We couldn't see shit. I'm like, yo, It was good though. We could see the craters and stuff, but we weren't interested in that. So we were like sitting around. We was like, yo, homegirl, we could see right in her window right now. You want to do it? He's like, yo, let's do that. So we were out there like with our notebooks to make it look good. We were out there looking through this girl window, man. That was crazy. That's what we were doing. 3 perverts, man. You know, everybody have that one in the neighborhood everybody got a crush on. Yep. Looking right in the window. But how we had it set up though was kind of cool. It was looked like we were like people like, damn, these kids are really into the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like the stars and shit. Yo, everybody started to come out. Then we had to point it back up to the sky again. It was like, yo, and then he said, you said for those just starting in astronomy, the price range from 300 to 1,000 is standard. The first choice is whether to buy a manual telescope or a computerized one. Interesting. I'm used to the manual ones because that's what I had when I was little. I mean, I had a good one back then, Ryan. I had because I could see the craters on the moon and everything. But check this out. If they did go to the moon, I'm trying to say they didn't go to the moon. Now, you would think that if you had a high-powered enough telescope, you should be able to see a flag on the moon, right? The answer is no. It would take a telescope the size of this planet to see it. Ain't that crazy? It would literally take a telescope half the size of this damn planet to see a flag on the moon. You're not going to see it with a regular telescope. Not going to see it. No, even when you go up to the roof, you cannot see a flag on the moon. That's a misconception. A lot of people thought so. No, the moon big as fuck. You cannot, not with a regular telescope. I know a little bit about astronomy because I had one, but then we started using it for other reasons. Yo, we saw everything in people's houses, yo. Yo, we saw what they were watching on TV and everything. It was clear as fuck. We saw everything, yo. Everything. Everything. Yep. And we were so far away that they couldn't see us watching it because it was dark. And look, in my room, we used to have it like not at the window in our room because it was a real good one. We'll set it up, cut all the lights off, and just watch people, man. That's what we were doing. Watching people in their house, man. He was like, yo, this thing is good as fuck, yo. I'm like, I know. You said, why can't we see NASA telescopes live? We can't see it live. We don't have nothing pointing at it. Yeah, the size, the flag that you got in perspective of the moon so big that flag is the size of an ant. You would definitely need a microscope half the size of this planet to see it, to zoom in and see it. But when you zoom, but you can get a good enough telescope though to see all the craters on the moon. For sure. You can see other planets too at night. You can see the stars and like the what do you call it? The constellations. You can see all of that. But they're lying to us about something. So but what happened with my telescope, I had a really good one. I ended up selling it to somebody else that was I actually ended up selling it to a teacher of mine because he needed a telescope because he was asking us, do we have anything that we could donate to his science class? And I told him I have a telescope. He was like, oh yeah, you do. What kind of telescope you have? I was like, I'm willing to donate it. He was like, no, I can't. He was like, I got to give you money for this. He said, it's a really good one. And he gave me a few dollars for it. It had its own case and everything. Yep. I think as of now, because I could still be using that now. Yes. That's how good it was. Yeah, like I should have kept it, but you know, hindsight is 2020. I kept good care of it, even though I was a kid. I took really good care of my telescope. I had another neighbor that had a really good one. His was like, it was heavy too. He had a really, really good one. All right, guys, I'll be back. Give me a second. I'm gonna research this, put something together for Asada Shakur, just in case anybody don't know anything about it. But there is a good documentary on it. But I'm gonna come back with that, and then 3 Eye Atlas tonight. All right, y'all. I'll be back in a second. Thanks for joining.